What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? This is your boy Is Nefarious, and I'm here for another episode following the Chicago White Sox rebuild. If you're enjoying the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. It all helps the channel. But we are here to finish season 1. That is our goal at the end of this episode, to finish season 1 without spending too much time. And we don't got many storylines, so that helps. Just a few I'm thinking off the top of my head is some performances, and will people be able to finish out strong? We'll jump into the occasional sim, high leverage situations. We also going to talk about contract extension, so let's do that first. So there's a few people we want to extend, and we're going to start with Jonathan Cannon, who wants 1.6 million for 2 years, so average annual value of 780k per year, and he's performing really well. Let's see if we add another year. What do we have to bump it up to? He's not even interested. So we got to do 1.7 for 2 years. We'll do 830k. So let's go ahead and make that offer. It's a done deal. So we re-signed him. We want to sign Yaro Iriarte. So let's take a look at what he wants. He wants roughly the same. We could actually add more years, and he would be happy to get more years. What do we have to do to get him to sign for a while? So we could do 1.9 times 4, and I feel like he is a good option as the fifth starter in our rotation. So let's do a 4-year contract, and we'll do 7.5 for 1.9 mil a year. I feel like he'll be part of that. I don't want to be locked into a contract that long, so he doesn't want that. So we're gonna have to go back to 3 years. And we could do 3 years, 780k per year. So perfect. We did a 3-year deal. Shane Smith was okay. We're gonna wait to re-sign him. Same thing with Sean Burke, who has been up and down this season. We'll give it a little bit more time. Other than that, Bryce Wilson's been good. Owen White's been really good, and so has Nick Nestrini, but we'll wait until the end of the season to sign some of those guys. The one relief pitcher we definitely do want to re-sign is James Karenkak, who has been really good, but he wants 5.1 mil a year for the next 5 years, and he would be somebody that would solidify our bullpen. We could go up to 6 years for 5.1 mil a year. He is 29 though, so we do expect him to regress. So that's the one issue with committing to somebody of his age. We could go with a 3-year 5.5 mil a year type of deal, or a 2-year 5.2 maybe, yeah, 5.2. Let's do 2 years, 5.2 per year, and see if we're able to do that. And that's a good contract, so perfect. We're able to re-sign him. As far as other relief pitchers, we could do Mike Vasil, who's been pretty decent, but we're gonna hold off on that. We definitely want to re-sign Kyle Teo. We could get him for 3 years. He doesn't want 4. He'll turn us down immediately. We could do 813 a year for 3 years. So let's go ahead and get him re-signed. Corey Lee and Matt Dice could wait for now. Andrew Vaughn, do we want to re-sign him? He doesn't fit what we want as far as the fielding goes for a first baseman, but he is a good bat. So let's see what he wants exactly. So he wants 7.2 per year for the next 5 years, and I'm not okay with committing that right now. We'll see at the end of the season if we're okay with committing that, but for now, not really interested. Chase Mydroth, who's improving his fielding some, doesn't really have the speed and stuff that we want, but he's another decent bat, or really good bat. Pretty good numbers as well. What's his WAR on the season? So he also has a 0.2 WAR. You got Lennon Sosa, who we got to re-sign, who's a better fielder. He's 25 years old. He's a little bit older, doesn't have as good of a bat, but he has a 0.3 WAR, so you could say he's performing a little bit better with a 674 OPS. I think the glove is what's kind of given him the edge there. We could wait to make this decision right here. This is a decision we're going to wait on. Josh Rojas, who's the second best player in our team, has a 292 average, playing well, has good fielding. I think this is somebody we could definitely sign for a short term. I don't know if I want to commit to him long term. We could do a 1-year deal for 9.2 if we really wanted to, just to buy our system a little bit more time to produce somebody. But there could be also better options out in free agency. So we got to be pretty careful on what we're trying to do. I mean, we could sign him to that 1 year 9.2 and then have him as a quote unquote, backup and a good glove and reliable type of leadership for this clubhouse. So let's do a 9.2 tour for 1 year. I think that would be a good contract for us. We don't have to really commit too much. Now, somebody we definitely do want to commit to, Colson Montgomery, needs a contract. So let's make an offer to him. Let's see if we could go as far as 3 years, which we can. And we're going to do $873 a year. So let's get him done. He is signed. Nick Matton, we're not too sure on yet. Jacob Amaya, who actually has been pretty decent with the bat, but again, another player that has struggled with his fielding, even though he has pretty decent fielding, so I think he's gonna get better. But a 957 fielding percentage right now. Dominic Fletcher is somebody that has been really good in AAA. We just called him up to the majors. We'll see how he plays in the majors. Maybe he earns a contract. Michael Taylor is a good fielder, but as you can see, he's regressing heavily now at the age 33, so we're going to be very careful on that. Austin Slater is somebody that deserves a contract. 305 average, 411 on base, 483 slugging for an 894 OPS. He also has a 977 fielding percentage, which isn't great, but a 1.9 WAR. Probably having one of the best seasons of his career. He wants 6.6 million a year for the next 5 years. I'm not okay with committing that much time to him. So we could do a 2-year deal, and I'm okay with paying a little bit more money for a 2-year deal. So it would be 2 years, 10 million. For a player like this, I think that's a little too much right now. So we'll hold off, and we'll hold off on Jankowski and Colas. So that's the re-signs that we're doing for now, and then we'll rethink about some of these decisions we're going to make when we get to the off season. But we trying to make sure we get the most bang for our buck, and kind of be smart with our moves. Definitely don't want to commit long term for some of these players that aren't really great. They're okay, even though Austin Slater's having a phenomenal season. Committing that much money to him right now for 5 years is too much, and when we go down to 2 years, he wants a lot more money. So we got to decide what we want to do with him. But now let's jump into the sim and see if we can get to September and potentially make some cool call-ups and some interesting call-ups for the remainder of the season when we reach September. All right, we're gonna have a situation immediately. We got Karen Keck trying to get a save here. We're up by 1. Bottom of the 9th against the Angels. Let's see if we could wrap this up. And the fielding percentage, we're going to write down all the information like fielding percentage, our team ranks. Maybe also we'll go back and see where these prospects started out overall wise. I've seen it done on Mr. Hurricanes franchise, and it's definitely something very interesting, and it helps build the storylines a little bit more. So we'll do our best to include that as well, just to make sure that we stay on top of storylines and really see the growth of these players that we fall in love with. I do love that Karen Keck is wearing number 99. Pretty dope. So we got a 2-1 count. Backdoor curveball. That knuckle curve is nasty. It's been his key pitch so far and all his save opportunities. We're going to go with a fastball. That's going to be played at short. Easy throw to first, and there it is. So we get the 1 out we needed to get the save there. Karen Keck with the save. take a look at some of the sets. Lennon Sosa 3 for 5 with a home run and a double, 2 RBIs. You had Luis Robert Jr. 1 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs, so a grand slam on that, as seems like at least. You got Josh Rojas 4 for 5 with an RBI and Jankowski 2 for 4 with a run, and now he is seeing a lot more playing time because of us trading Andrew Benintendi. For those that don't remember what happened last episode, or you need to be refreshed, we traded Andrew Benintendi for a player in center field that goes by the name of Dasan Brown. Very fast, 98 speed, 99 stealing, 99 base running aggressiveness, great fielding. We just got to work on his arm, and then we also got to work on him getting on base somewhat. He is 23 years old, so he's got a little time to build. But we got rid of a big contract in Andrew Benintendi, which we're happy about. We got another situation to jump in. Bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. Bases loaded for Randy Arozarena. We got Bryce Wilson on the mound, who has been pretty good ever since entering the rotation. So we get a look at him because we haven't been able to use him yet. So this is a perfect opportunity for us to get a kind of feel for how good he is. He brings that slurve over. That's a little outside. See if you could get Randy out of here with the 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. A 2-run lead, which is nice. The big moment in this game. And there's that 93-mile-per-hour sinker, and then he's got a cutter. That's his number 1 pitch. That just misses. Says he's a relief pitcher, but he does have the stamina to pitch in the rotation, so that's what we got him doing right now. Probably not a part of our future, and we get strike 3 called. Bryce Wilson gets out of the jam. Beautiful job by him. And we get the win. So Bryce Wilson, 7 innings pitched, only 1 earned run. That was a huge moment in the game, and he performed really well. He had a 3 for 5 game for Austin Slater. He's really pushing it. He wants his money, and he's performing really, really well. Might finish with over a 300 average, and we'll, keep track of who our team leaders are for home runs and things like that, season to season on a spreadsheet. Now we're gonna jump into another situation where the before mentioned Austin Slater has a big chance to help out his team. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. We are down by 2 runs. We got 2 men on base. Let's see if we can knock them in and start this rally. Austin Slater with a really good season so far. So we got to face Emmanuel Clase. That one's low. He's batting .319 with runners in scoring position. Playing so well. Very impressed with this season. As we miss that sinker. And then a cutter on the outside corner. We foul that off. And he gets us with the sinker on the inside corner. So go down looking. And the Guardians take this game 3-1. Shane Bieber with 6.2 innings pitched and 1 earned run. Cannon led up 2 runs and 5.2 innings pitched. Not a bad game. Kyle Teel 3 for 4 in today's game, so he had a pretty decent game himself. Another high importance situation. We got the bases loaded here. It's early on in the game, but this is a good chance to blow up the scoreboard. So Corey Lee is coming up with a 240 average here in the bottom of the 4th. Bases loaded to face Schoolball. He's going to get a fastball down the middle. First pitch swinging, and that is going to get Schoolball out of the inning. That was a good pitch to hit. Now we're trying to move through this sim pretty quickly. We ended up winning this game 4-3, so a good win there. You had Mydroth 1 for 4 with a home run, Corey Lee 2 for 4 with a double, and Slater 1 for 2 with a walk. And I'm noticing Slater does a good job of getting on base as much as he does hitting the ball. So that's always good when you're getting on base other ways than just hits. And that's a good win. And like I said, we're just trying to get through the sim as soon as possible and try to get 2 months into one episode. So that's why you don't really see us simming game by game. You'll see us occasionally jump in like we are now with Shane Smith on the mound and the bases loaded. But trying to make sure we move through this 2-month period, because there's not much to talk about unless we somehow end up paving a path to a wild card spot or a situation where we could potentially make the playoffs, but I doubt we will. It's a really tough road ahead of us as we throw the first one over. We're lucky he didn't offer at it. That slider gets the back door, and then we got one more slider that he wants to throw. Let's see if we can get strike 3 on this. He offers at it. He fights it off down the line though. And on the 1-2 again, or the 0-2, it's going to be the shortstop. He's going to go to first. Not in time. We are going to challenge that. There's no way he beat that out. Can we challenge it? And it doesn't let us challenge. I really thought we got him out on that play. I really did. A little controversy, I think, there, because I'm pretty sure he was out. So he chases an inside slider and he gets a base hit out of it. You love when that happens. Good job, MLB The Show. And a fastball up high gets by Arcia. I'm gonna go with a low fastball on the 1-2 count. Gonna be on the inside corner, and we get the strikeout. So the damage is minimized with that one hit, even though I thought he was out on the play. We end up getting a loss in this one. Robert 1 for 4 with a home run. Lennon Souza 1 for 4 with a home run. Jankowski 2 for 3, and Kyle Tail 1 for 3. He had a walk in the game. Shane Smith gets the loss. He only allowed 1 earned run in 4 innings pitched. So it's crazy that he only pitched 4 innings. Wonder if he was on in relief. Maybe we had an injury. We didn't get a notice for an injury. So it's gonna be interesting who we're gonna call up in the September call-ups. Nick Podcool is no longer injured. Let's place him on the bench. I think that also messes with our AA roster. Another big game to come into. Top 8th, 0 outs. We get a guy on first and second, and Lewis Robert Jr. And will the not trading Lewis Robert Jr. come back to bite us in the behind is the question. We decided not to trade him. We decided to keep him. He is 27. He's got a 3-year deal. There's really no need to trade him. He's not making a lot of money. He's a really good player. Now, if this was maybe had some realistic storylines, like, you know, morale on unhappiness, then maybe we think about it. But there's really no reason to trade him right now. So we're gonna keep him, and hopefully we can build around him and create a really good team that complements him, because I think he does everything that we want well, on top of having a good bat. So why trade him at this point and get something lesser, or something that's going to take a lot longer to get to the majors? So we decided to keep him. He could kind of be the face of the franchise until the kids come up. And we're going to fight that off to second base. That's going to be an easy play. So in steps Andrew Vaughn here in the top of the 8th. Still got a chance to open this game up. And we get a ball call on that first one. That one was a lucky call. That one's going to be out of the way. That's going to get by the first baseman, but we're not going to send him home. And that was a great throw by the right fielder. That would have been dangerous. So Andrew Vaughn delivers as usual. Then you got Kyle Teal batting .277 so far in the majors in his rookie season. Obviously, he's going to have more time. That is going to travel into the gap. It gets down. It hits the wall. Kyle Teal is going to get 2 and bring in all 3 runs. Kyle Teal with a bases clearing double. Hey, there you go, Rook. We love to see that. We love to see that. Now Dominic Fletcher, the recently called up outfielder. He's 0 for 3 so far in this game. That was a really good pickoff. I ain't gonna hold. But let's see if Dominic Fletcher could help out the team. He's gonna take the first one. That's a strike. First time using in Fletcher as well, so as we check swing that, we definitely wanted a full swing. So already down 0-2 in this account. It said account, I meant count. And there goes strike 3. Dominic Fletcher goes down on strikes. Way too early on that slider. Then Lennon Sosa. 254 average, not bad this season. He's gonna line out to second base though on the first pitch. That was a good pitch to hit too. So we played a big part in this win. We won 5-2 on the final. Kyle Teal had the 1-for-4 double with a 3 RBI count on that. We also had 1-for-4 home run and 1 RBI on the Jacob Amaya stat line. Chase Mydroth was 2-for-5, and then Lennon Sosa 2-for-4 with a home run. Ken Murphy gets the win there. So not too bad for Kyle Teal. And Kyle Teal on fire right now, a 283 average. He has 4 home runs in 32 games so far. He's also got a 444 slugging for a 778 OPS. He's got some stolen bases. He's 1,000 on stolen bases. He's got 2 so far this season. He's got 1 error, which is okay. A 1.1 WAR so far in only 32 games, which is impressive. And he's created about 17.1 runs. So really good in his stint in the majors here late in the season. Mydroth as well, somebody that came in during the season. I think we called him up in May or late April. 93 games, 355 at bats. He has 15 home runs. Doesn't really scream power when you look at him, but he has 15 home runs so far this season. 45 RBIs, a 273 average, 333 on base, a 434 slugging for a 767 OPS. The issue is the fielding with a 969 fielding percentage, but he has a 0.4 WAR. If it wasn't for that fielding percentage, I think he would be a lot better. Then he's also created 51.3 runs, so a very good call up when it comes to offense. Just needs to work on that defense. Colson Montgomery, as you can see, very good progression so far. He's lost a little bit to power versus left-handers, but he's a left-handed bat. 280 so far in the AAA in 53 games. He has 11 home runs, a 345 on base, 455 slugging, 800 OPS, a 972 fielding percentage, and a 0.8 WAR. So another guy who is developing real nicely for us. One of our prospects there. We could take a look at all our prospects here in a second. Noah Schultz, pretty decent progression. He's getting a lot of hit per 9, as you can see, a +5 there. He is 3-3 in AAA right now with a 2.76 ERA, so performing so far since his call up. You have Hagen Smith, who's got a lot of nice progression. He's up to a 77. I believe he started as a 72 or 73. And he's got +4 to hit, +3 to the K. He's also got +3 to home runs, +4 to walks. He's progressing a lot better than most our prospects, even better than Noah Schultz right now. He's got a 3.32 ERA and a 6-2 record since being called up to AAA. So performing really well. 72 strikeouts as well. Noah Schultz got 70. Taking a look at Grant Taylor, he's 5-4 with a 2.84 ERA, 60 strikeouts in 66 innings. And then he's also been progressing okay, not as good as Hagen Smith or Noah Schultz, but still pretty decent. He's up to a 72 overall. Probably another season or midway through next season he could be called up. We could call up Hagen Smith now. I think he's there. And then Noah Schultz could potentially be called up. Maybe 2 guys we could put into the bullpen when we get to September. The next prospect to talk about, Colton Montgomery, we just talked about, as we noted, playing really well. You got Edgar Quero, who is the next prospect, and I think they took off Kyle Teal just because he's been in the majors. But Quero's been okay in the AAA ever since being called up. Not great. A good on base, a decent average, good slugging, actually okay slugging. I want to say good. A 718 OPS, a 1.5 WAR. So he's been pretty decent. Braden Montgomery, another top 10 prospect. He's developing nicely. We haven't felt comfortable with it, sending him to the next level because he hasn't been really good. He's been okay in AA. He's been solid. We would like to see him dominate the AA before we call him up. Owen White, has had a really good season in AAA at 3.65 ERA. Maybe another bullpen arm potentially that we call up. Iriarte has had a really good season. As you know, we re-signed him. A 9-7 record with a 2.51 ERA. Could definitely be called up a lot sooner. Probably going to be the first pitcher we call up out of all of them. Maybe Owen White, we'll debate it. You got Aldrin Bautista, who's in the AA, a C potential, nothing crazy, progressing pretty nicely. He's got a 3.18 ERA, so performing real well. And then Wilkman Gonzalez that we got from the Boston Red Sox, 42 saves, only 3 blown saves in AA. Could see some AAA action come next season, and could potentially be a good bullpen arm for us moving forward. Already up to a 64 overall. If you could get to that low 70s, and we really like him as another bullpen arm. So that's our top 10. Just wanted to talk about them real quick before we jump back into the sim. All right, we got another big opportunity with Luis Robert Jr. We got bases loaded here in a 6. The ability to open this one up in a 3-2 game. The Kansas City Royals are up right now. This is a huge at-bat. And as you can see, Luis Robert Jr. 241 average, so he's really fell off. Maybe did want to get traded, and we just kind of ignored him. And now he's upset with us as we chase a high fastball that wasn't even close. And we check swing. I swear we went to go around, and that's going to be out number 3. So sitting here at 57 and 74, I think we're thoroughly out of a playoff situation. So we'll jump in a little bit less than we usually do, because there's really no need to jump in. Not like we're gonna get us back into a playoff situation by jumping in. So White Sox have 26 players. We could go up to 28. Okay, so let's do that. So who will be the call-ups here? Do we even bother calling up, some of these top prospects? Colson Montgomery's starting to hit a cold streak. I don't know if I want to call him up while he's in the midst of a cold streak. I think we're definitely going to have him start in the majors next year. But maybe the change of scenery is going to help him. So let's actually go ahead and call him up. So Colson Montgomery will come up and play. And then we could also call up Hagen Smith, but we are going to have him in the bullpen. So let's add him to the 40-man and put him in the bullpen. And perfect, he's already in the bullpen. We're not going to have him start. We don't want to put that much pressure on him, and just use him occasionally. So what we're going to do is, in this first game, since we got both Colson Montgomery and Hagen Smith both up, and they're both going to be quote-unquote making their major league debuts, I'm going to put Colson Montgomery in at shortstop. I'm going to put Mydroth in at DH, and then we're going to put Jacob Amaya. I'm going to leave him at second. He's got good fielding. We could actually put Lennon Sosa. Does anybody play first base out of the infield? Nobody plays first base. It would be nice if we could put Andrew Vaughn as the DH in this situation. Let's move. We're going to make some moves. We're going to move Mydroth up. We're going to move down Luis Robert Jr. He's not performing real well right now. Colson Montgomery could be towards the bottom of the lineup. Kyle Teal could actually move up to number 5. We'll move Colson Montgomery up to number 7, and we'll have a lineup like that. Lennon Sosa, who's on a cold streak, we could have him sit out. Looks like Jacob Amaya has been a little bit better recently. Yeah, so we'll just leave the lineup the way it is. We'll do the same for this. Mydroth will switch out. He'll go to DH. And shortstop will be Colson Montgomery, making his major league debut. We'll swap Robert Jr. and Vaughn, and then boom, we got our lineups. So let's go ahead and quick manage this game. And we'll jump in when we have a at-bat for Colson Montgomery. And also, we might even bring in our rookie starting pitcher, Hagen Smith, at some point. He is a little tired, but we'll bring him in if we can. Colson Montgomery is going to bat 7th. Chase Mydroth needs a little bit of rest. We could do that. But who are we going to have step in? It's against a right-hander. We could have Dominic Fletcher or Oscar Colas. We'll probably do Colas. Let him get some reps. He'll bat probably towards the bottom of the lineup. We'll have him bat ninth. We could do Jankowski leading off, even though he doesn't have a great average. Or we could go with Kyle Teal leading off, or Rojas. A few options. Go Slater. We could go something like this. Alright. We'll probably just leave it like this. Not much we could do. We don't have a good number 2 and a number 1 right now. So we'll just leave it the way it is. We'll go at bat by at bat, just in case we get to Montgomery. Looks like if Luis Robert Jr. is able to make something happen here, we could get to Montgomery. He does not. So let's get to the next half inning. Davis Martin not doing too well. Gives up 1 run already. And we got a at bat for Colson Montgomery. His first major league at bat. Let's see what the kid could do. Gonna be a big part of the future here. Got the pop. Got the glove. Just a all-around prospect for us, and we are in love in Chicago with him and Kyle Teal as a couple of good prospects coming up. Gonna take his first strike. That circle change catches the inside corner. So you got a 2-1 count with favorable. I'm gonna go right up the middle, and 1 for 1 in his major league career. Colson Montgomery wastes no time getting his first career hit. And there's the rook. Colson Montgomery doing it all. So after a Luis Robert Jr. solo shot, I'm gonna have Colson Montgomery up. Can he follow him with a solo shot of his own? Oh, we wanted to swing at that. Maybe we couldn't get it because we were very early. Or maybe our swing path is just terrible right now. Both could be true. Way too early on that circle change. So 0-2 quick here. An inside fastball. We're gonna fight that off. Will that drop for us? It's getting down and it's caught by the center fielder. So not a hit on that one. So here in the 4th inning, it looks like our pitcher Davis Martin was chased off. And they're going to bring in Hagen Smith, and I didn't even do this myself. I know, I was going to if they weren't, but I didn't have to do this at all. They brought him in themselves. So Hagen Smith, seeing his first action in the majors, he's going to get a ground ball. Could that be 2? Just going to go for 1 there and allow the second runner, or the runner to get to second, I should say. So 1 down early on in his career. Let's see if we can get him his first career strikeout. Gonna get Carlos Correa up at the mound. Welcome to the big leagues. There, Hagen Smith. Carlos Correa back to the mound. Hagen Smith with the play. That's gonna be an easy out. And that wasn't player lock. That's why you didn't see us zoom in and have to throw it. So Hagen Smith gets the 2 outs he needs in his first 2/3 of an innings pitched. But we get some more of Hagen Smith. See how he does with a full inning. And so far, making quick work. 1-2. The first at bat. Doesn't offer at that low slider. See if we could get him with a cutter on the inside half. He obliged. A broken bat. That should be easy play for Kyle Teal. And Teal makes a play. So we finally got some prospects up here. We got my draw so far, who we've called up. We got Hagen Smith now. We also called up Colson Montgomery, and we've had Kyle Teal up here for a while. So some young kids finally getting into the White Sox and giving us a glimpse of what the future might hold for this team. I know Hagen Smith is not in the rotation right now, and next year could be a spot for him as he gets a slider to get popped up to left field for an easy play and an easy out. But it's finally nice to get some youth in here and really start to look at what the future will be. See if we can get Hagen Smith a strikeout. Outs are cool, but I want a strikeout. Hit his first one of his major league career. So on the 2-2, we're going to go with an inside fastball. He offers at it. That's going to be popped up. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Hagen Smith. Performing really well so far. Runner on second. We got Colson Montgomery up. Can we actually, start a little bit of a rally with Colson Montgomery and potentially give the win to Hagen Smith in his first ever outing? Now it's not a started game, but still, first appearance and you get a win. Ooh, Colson Montgomery misses that. That one was a good pitch to hit. Back-to-back curveballs. So 0-2. That's going to be inside curveball. We're barely going to make contact on that. That should be an easy out. As a center fielder comes in, and we're not going to be able to advance the runner there. So far, not so good for Colson Montgomery after that first at-bat. I don't know how long we're going to get of Hagen Smith, but I'll tell you what. The Chicago White Sox have a good history of young left-handed starting pitchers coming in and doing damage out of the bullpen. Think about Chris Sale, Garrett Crochet just recently. They know how to ID some left-handed demons. And maybe Hagen Smith is one of those. As he gets a cutter inside, that's going to be the third base. That's going to be played easily. Good job by Rojas. It's nice to finally have some good fielding out there too. With Miguel Vargas, who we traded, and then also Myjoth, and the way Amaya's been playing, like the fielding has been a sore subject of this team. And I could think if we had a little bit better fielding and some bullpen help, maybe this is a different season. A lot of blown saves and a lot of mistakes in the field. Kind of derailed this season a little bit. Doesn't offer up at that cutter. See if we could get him with the fastball up and in. And that is going to be launched out to left field. That's going to be just inside the foul pole. And Hagen Smith gives up his first run as a pitcher in the major leagues. A home run, and we definitely missed our spot there. That's on us. We ruined Hagen Smith. But it's only one earned run, not the end of the world. See if we could settle in a little bit. And after this game, we're probably just going to get to the end of the season unless something major happens. Just so we could, talk about the way things have gone. And there's that first career strikeout for Hagen Smith. Take a bow. I don't know how much longer a Hagen Smith will get in this game. I got to check where his stamina is. It's not too bad. His energy is still green. That's a strike. So the one home run. As I say that, they're like, oh yeah, he's getting tired. That's going to be lofted out to center, but that's played by Amaya. Good play there. Gets us out of the inning. So Hagen Smith might get one more inning, might be taken out. So we're going to try to get one more inning out of Hagen Smith, but he is one mistake away from being pulled from this game. So if he allows a base runner or anything like that, we'll take him out. You also get to start with a lefty, so we want that lefty on lefty advantage. As we get out to a quick 0-2 count, we're going to get the fastball by Edward Julian. Now we got Carlos Correa, who could send Hagen Smith packing. So we get to get our first look at Hagen Smith and Colson Montgomery. We got a 3-1 count. This definitely could be the last batter for Hagen Smith. That one's going to be over the middle of the plate, but that should be played by Luis Robert Jr. Carlos Correa didn't get a good piece of that. So he's got a chance to finish this inning, which is nice. And then we'll bring in Shane Smith. Maybe a chance at a win. That's a favorable call. That was a great call for us. That's going to be grounded to first base. A good play by Andrew Vaughn sends us to the top of the 8th. I'm going to get at least one more at-bat for Colson Montgomery. Let's see if we could get a big hit here. Maybe even a home run. His first career home run would be nice. 100 miles per hour on the gun. We were way behind on that. Our eyes lit up, but our bat was way too slow. Gonna get early on that 101 mile per hour fastball. And a fastball down the middle, 101, and Colson Montgomery could not catch up to it. Just blew it right by us. So in their debuts, Colson Montgomery goes 1 for 4. He also scored a run. He did strike out once. And then you also had Hagen Smith going 3 2/3 of an inning. 1 earned run on that home run and 2 strikeouts and a 2.45 ERA. So not a bad debut from both. Showed a little bit of promise, but not the worst debuts we've seen. Not the greatest, but not the worst. So we're going to go ahead and get to the end of the season and talk about some of the stats. Probably not going to jump into another game unless it's Colson Montgomery or Hagen Smith somehow, some way. And would you look at that? As a season finale, we got Colson Montgomery with the bases loaded, 1 out in the top of the 8th. Here in the final game of the season. So the baseball gods want Colson Montgomery to be great. So let's jump into this one and give Colson Montgomery potentially a grand slam to finish his short stint in the majors before we start off next season. That was a fastball. We could have definitely took yard. Colson Montgomery is 2 for 4 today, so having a pretty decent day. That's a fastball down the middle. We're gonna at least get 1, maybe 2. They hold up at third, and that was a great throw. So it's good that we held up at third. Got Andrew Vaughn up. We'll continue batting just to finish out the season. He's 1 for 3 today. A 242 average on the season, so definitely could have been better. That one is going to be smoked out to deep left field. He's going back. That's a grand slam. Andrew Vaughn with a grand slam. That is a monster shot. His 17th of the season. So not a lot of home runs from that first baseman. Not a lot of pop. And this game goes a long time. A 14-12 victory on the final game of the season. So we cap it off with a win. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come next season. But we got a lot of decisions to make on this team. Who's going to stay? Who's going to go? But the good news is this youth that we have is really working for us. So taking a look at the standings, we finished 72-90. We thankfully didn't finish last in our division. In the entire league, if I could look at the entire league, which I can't. So I would have to go one by one. The worst team in the National League was the Giants at 59-103. And the worst team in the American League was the Angels at 58-104. So we weren't the worst team in our division, and we were near the bottom, but not quite the bottom. I wonder where that would put us. So we're better than the Marlins, better than the Angels and the Tigers. Like I said, better than the Marlins. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're just below the Braves, but better than 2 other teams. So we are number 7 in the league when it came to record. So, but we'll take a look at some of the key statistics as well. For batting average, we ended up 19th, which isn't great. We were 28th in doubles, so we're not getting a lot of extra bases. At triples, we were also 21st, and in home runs we were second to last. We actually tied for last with the Brewers. We had 177. We were tied for 29th. That's why I was thinking of 99. But Luis Robert Jr. had 31 of those, so not a lot of secondary power. And Andrew Vaughn and Chase Mydroth. Andrew Vaughn played a full season. Chase Mydroth didn't. Andrew Vaughn's a power hitter at first base. Chase Mydroth isn't. And they both had 17 home runs. Runs batted in, we ended up not at the bottom of the league, but I assume pretty low, which it is, 24th. Stolen bases, where we want to rank high, we were 5th, so that's a good sign. We caught stealing a lot. Let's see, not too bad. 14th, weren't caught stealing that much. Our stolen base percentage was 7th, which is top 10. We like that. On base, which is a key For us, one of the major things we want to be good at, and we were 11th in that, so close to the top 10. We're happy about that. Strikeouts, we don't want to be anywhere near the bottom. We were 21st. Slugging percentage, we were 29th. We expected that much. On base percentage, we were number 16, which is pretty good. We want to be in that top 10. And we got big news. One of our personal goals was not to finish last in fielding, and we just snuck out of last place with a 984 fielding percentage. The worst was the Angels at 983, and a 983 from the Marlins as well. So thankfully we weren't last there. We weren't last, but we're still far away from where we want to be. ERA, we were 20th, so not great. We were towards the top at the early on season totals, but towards the end, not so hot. We surprisingly ranked 16th in saves. That is amazing to me. Blown saves, we were 25th, so we weren't the worst, but we were in the bottom half of the league. And just showing you some of the player of the months throughout the season, you did have Chase Mydroth, who was the rookie of the month in May. You had Roman Anthony as the player of the month and also the rookie of the month. That shows you how good he is, already up to an 84 overall. You had Roman Anthony, once again the rookie of the month there. And that's pretty much it. So we did have one player in Chase Mydroth who went 302, 5 home runs, 15 RBIs in the month of May. I believe that was the first month that he was called up, so a good little showing there, and gets a player of the month, or a rookie of the month, I should say. Now, going around the league, looking at the top 5, in the AL, you had Lawrence Butler lead the league with a 322 average. So really good season from him. You had a couple guys over 300 in the NL. You had Gabriel Moreno with a 346. Marlins had Xavier Edwards with a 338, 325 from Donovan, Shohei Ohtani with a 318, and Nathaniel Lowe with a 306. Taking a look at the home runs, Trey Turner had 42 in the NL, Austin Riley with 41 from Juan Soto, Ketel Marte with 40, and Shohei Ohtani with 40. You also had Bryce Harper with 40. Taking a look at the AL, you had Christian Walker with 49, Rafael Devers with 45, a really good season for him. He was on a trading block most of the season too. Brent Rooker with 44, Yordan Alvarez with 42, Bobby Witt Jr. with 42, and Aaron Judge with 42. Christian Walker led the AL with RBIs with 111, Bobby Witt 109, Rafael Devers 103, Anthony Santander had 102, and Aaron Judge with 101. In the NL, Shohei Ohtani with 130, Bryce Harper with 122, Ketel Marte with 122, 114 from Austin Riley, and Kyle Schwarber, of all people, with 112. Now, maybe some guys will be thinking about going to get some stolen base leaders. You had Chandler Simpson with 50 stolen bases, Victor Robles with 33, Cedric Mullins with 33, Miguel Garcia had 32, and David Hamilton with 31. In the NL, Xavier Edwards with 33, Jake McCarthy 32, Rydell with 31, Corbin Carroll with 31, and Jacob Young with 28. Your saves leader in the AL, you had Emmanuel Clase with 56, Felix Bautista 54, Griffin Jax with 53, 51 from Lucas Erkeg, I believe that's Erkeg. Devin Williams with 48, NL Strom had 57, Edwin Diaz with 52, Jason Adam with 51, Ryan Helsley, he had 47, Tanner Scott with 46. Your leader in pitching WAR was Jacob deGrom in the AL, followed by Cole Reagans, Kevin Guzman, Tarek Skubal, and Pablo Lopez, all over 4 on the pitching WAR. Taking a look at the NL, you had Paul Skeens with a 4.8. He led all pitchers. Zach Wheeler with a 4.6. Nestor Cortez Jr., Mitch Keller, and Clay Holmes as your top 5 in the NL. Taking a look at the batting WAR, Manny Machado with a 8.1. Shohei Ohtani with a 7.9. Ketel Marte, followed by Francisco Alvarez and Gabriel Moreno. You had Julio Rodriguez leading the AL. Manny Machado led the league by a landslide when it came to the AL. He was close with Ohtani. Ohtani blew the AL out of the water as well. You had Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr., Jose Ramirez, and Aaron Judge in the AL. Our batting title goes to Chase Mydroth with a 290. Kyle Taylor was right behind him with a 287. Austin Slater as well with a 283. So you had a couple guys close. Home runs, Luis Robert Jr. had 31. He led the team. You had 86 RBIs from him, which led the team. He also had 22 stolen bases from Josh Rojas, of all people. Impressive, that 99 stealing coming to effect. Matt Dice led an on-base. Slugging was Kyle Teal with a 465. OPS, Matt Dice and Austin Slater. Matt Dice actually had 215 at-bats, so not a small number of at-bats. Leading the team in stolen base percentage, we're not usually interested in the fielding percentage. You had Michael Taylor and Nick Matton. Kyle Teal, if we really want to talk about somebody that was playing most of the time. Travis Jankowski as well. Taking a look at the WAR, your leader in WAR was Luis Robert Jr. with a 3.2. So he was quote unquote our most important player. And taking a look at the isolated power, it was Luis Robert Jr. And then taking a look at the runs created, I think we're a little too far for runs created. He led, Chase Mydroth led the team with 74.5, followed by Luis Robert Jr. Taking a look at the pitchers, our ERA leader was actually Drew Thorpe. No, our ERA leader was Penn Murphy out of the bullpen. For starting pitchers, it was Bryce Wilson before he went down with the injury. Our whip leader was Penn Murphy once again. Bryce Wilson, before he went down, was the leader for all starting pitchers. Taking a look at the saves, Karen Cack had 31. Our wins leader was Sean Burke. Our strikeout leader was Sean Burke as well with 173. Our quality starts leader was actually Martin Perez, so he was either hit or miss the whole season. Jonathan Canton was behind him with 11. And the leader for a pitching WAR was Sean Burke with 3.4, followed by Bryce Wilson with a 2.6, and Penn Murphy at a 1.9. Jonathan Cannon also had a 1.9. Our K per 9 leader was Jose Alvarado, followed by Karen Keck. Justin Anderson's up there, but he didn't pitch too much. Jose Alvarado also led in walks per 9. We also had taking a look at the final look of our prospects and their development. Noah Schultz is up to a 76 overall, showing really good development in hits per 9. He's got a AAA stats it doesn't show anymore, so unfortunately we can't go over the stats. But he was really good. Hit per 9 is up to a 54 now. We got +7 there. Hagen Smith is up to a 78. He's been developing really fast. He's got +4 everywhere, +5 to walks per 9. Taking a look at Grant Taylor, he's up to a 73, probably a little bit of ways from actually making the major league roster, maybe one more season or a half a season. You have Colson Montgomery, who's up to a 77. And he finished the little campaign, or his little short stint in the major leagues. He had a 210 average, a 273 on base, slugging with 321, 594 OPS. He also had 2 errors in the field, and he was lackluster to say the least. 25 strikeouts and 81 at bats. What was his K percentage? K percentage was near 30. Definitely can't have that if he's going to be in the majors. Hagen Smith, his major league numbers, a 5.23 ERA, so not the best. 20 innings pitched. He did have 16 strikeouts. He was 2-0, but definitely not where you want that ERA to be. The whip was also at a 1.6. Edgar Quero progressed to a 73 overall. Braden Montgomery's a 74. His potential went down to a C. I didn't notice anybody else. Yeah, Braden Montgomery's potential goes down to a C. Maybe we should have called him up. Maybe this is our fault that he went down to a C. Iriarte is up to a 76. Definitely should see the rotation next year. You got Batista up to a 64, I should say. You got Owen White up to a 72. Could potentially see the bullpen, maybe even the rotation. Welcoming Gonzalez up to a 66. Prelander Baroa, he's up to a 73, a relief pitcher. Definitely somebody that we could see as a potential, opening day type of roster man there. You got Alejandro Cruz up to a 56, Bonima up to a 59, Corella up to a 65, up to a 69 for Desan Brown. So he potentially could see the lineup, but we do need his bat to get a little bit better before we call him up. Eater, who's 26. Not really interested in the rest of these guys. So pretty good progression. It sucks that Braden Montgomery did go down in a little potential, but not the end of the world. But that's gonna do it for this one. We'll talk about more of the off-season stuff and some of the storylines going into the off-season when we pick it up next episode. I'm hoping you're enjoying the content. If you are, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your boy Is Nefarious, and I am out of here.